There was my then boyfriend in the living room taking photos of a mannequin.
What?
Marco hadn't noticed me just yet, so I got to see the tubs of
Hubs?
Have you ever wanted that to happen to you?
underwear's not cheap.
No, especially like if, we're having sexy time, I'm probably wearing nice ones, and I probably don't want you to damage them.
Welcome back to Delve Deck Stories. Today we have some stories about breakups and horrible exes. Our first story is from Anonymous, and it's who is the worst person you've ever dated from the venting deck. He bought me underwear, and I found out the creepy reason why. My ex, Marco, was a bit of an oddball, but not one I immediately considered dangerous. What I did consider most odd was the amount of things he would buy me, specifically underwear. At first, I thought it was kinky because he would rip mine off when we had sexy time so often, but after a while, he stopped ripping them on account of having carpal tunnel, but kept buying me underwear.
Wait, okay.
He's fully ripping it off her body.
Yeah, like in the books, they're like.
Have you ever wanted that to happen to you?
I feel like underwear's not cheap.
No, especially like if, we're having sexy time, I'm probably wearing nice ones, and I probably don't want you to damage them.
I told him that I had more than enough pairs, but miraculously, my drawer never filled up. One day, I planned to surprise him with lunch at home since he mainly worked from his living room as an editor, and I used my key to come in unannounced.
What is he editing?
There was my then boyfriend in the living room taking photos of a mannequin, which wasn't that weird. What was weird was that my red velvet underwear I had been missing for days now was on the mannequin. Marco hadn't noticed me just yet, so I got to see the tubs of underwear.
Tubs?
That with a sign that said sold on it. Next to a bin of more underwear that said photographed, next to another tub that said to be worn. At least he's organized. That's nice.
I'm like, type A, okay.
This is what I was kind of thinking, was mainly female prisons will sell their underwear that has been worn to their, writing suitors.
Why do you know that?
Because...
Are you a suitor, Gabe?
Nope, not a suitor.
He likes prison panties.
Okay, that's a good... we should start a business.
Okay.
We could, sorry.
But I remember watching this interview, and this woman was like, oh, I never wore the underwear. I just found stuff that recreated the smell of a woman and then would sell it that way. So she's like, I would never actually
I'm wondering what the smell of a woman is.
I don't want to know.
She's sitting there comparing.
Marco, what the is going on? Oh, I was hired by Vogue to shoot some underwear for their new campaign. Using my underwear?
He came out with that real quick.
Vogue is a bold, name to throw out there.
Using my underwear? I know that's my limited edition red velvet pink underwear. I've been looking for those. What does Vogue want with them? Nothing. Vogue wanted nothing with them. Marco worked from home all right. His job was selling all of the underwear I wore. Again, give me a cut. I'm into it.
Yeah.
Let's have a business together.
I mean, if it means it's like, or even it's like, I don't have to wear them. We could just figure out something just kind of brush on, and that's the smell. I'm just saying. I don't
know why that is so much more disturbing to me than just wearing them. I don't know what it...
You're fooling all these men who are willing to pay you and fund whatever lifestyle you want.
I guess you're right. But they probably have preferences. They're like period, ovulation.
Yeah. Boom, you can figure it out. There's ways.
He got to use everything he bought me as a tax write-off.
Yeah, I mean, it is a business expense.
Dirty, soiled, bled in, whatever, he was listing it and selling it to creeps on the internet. I am now in the very long process of attempting to sue him for that because this all feels very illegal. We'll update you.
Oh, fun.
What?
I mean, yeah, I want a cut of that.
Yeah.
Our next story is from Rhonda, and it's who is the worst person you've ever dated from the venting deck. I found out he was in a sex cult.
Sex cult. I'm curious about the cult.
I am a Christian, so when I met Leo on a dating app and he described himself as a follower of Christ, I thought we were a great match. He went to a church I had never heard of, but that's not uncommon since we live in a big city. As we got more serious, he would regularly come to services with me at my church, but whenever I asked if I could attend his church, he said it wasn't that kind of church. I was a little sketched out by this since most churches want to welcome people in with open arms, but everything else about him seemed great, so I didn't press it. Then, after about 8 months together, I was staying at his place and he left to go to work. I was working on a knitting project and realized I had forgotten my scissors at home, so I went through his drawers looking for some. One of the drawers I opened had a Bible in it with Post-it tabs. I opened it up because I wanted to see which passages he had marked, but instead found something else.
She's like, I'm going to find my man of God, like hoping to find Corinthians 13 love.
A Polaroid picture of him having sex with a man. I was confused because he had never expressed that he was bisexual or had ever been with a man.
She's like, what? Where was my invite?
She's like, oh,
now I'm really mad.
Thank thanks.
She's like, oh my God, I've never seen him arch like that.
Then I saw a manila envelope that was under the Bible, and something in me just knew I would find more of these pictures in there. I opened it up and sure enough found all sorts of graphic photographs of Leo having sex with men and women alike. Even worse, in some of the pictures, he had the new tattoo that he got while we were dating.
Oh no. Oh no. I didn't even put together the fact that like this is his partner and like this isn't someone just finding something out. This is finding out your boyfriend's a serial cheater, but it's his religion. So it's
okay. So it's okay.
It's
you
okay.
have to, it's discrimination if you get mad.
Honestly, almost ableist.
Yeah,
Right.
ableist for sure.
He has chronic blue balls. He has to get it out somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's a condition.
Yep.
I texted him that we needed to talk and that I had found the envelope of pictures.
Oh man, why would you ruin it over text?
No, also I'm a little pissed off at this guy because like if this manila envelope contained every single photo, then was the one in the Bible just an extra special one? Or was that one you wanted her to find? So she'd be like, I'm into it.
That was a bookmark to be like, totally got to read tonight's passage.
Yeah.
He goes,
But
Send me his favorite one.
or it was the passage that was being read while they were.
Oh, memory.
the Lord is my shepherd. I have
And
all
you're
that
like, I
need."
will never forget this one.
Because it was burned into my brain.
When he got home from work, he told me that the pastor at his church had a direct connection to Christ and that he was able to embody the Lord and that they would then have sex with him to be closer to Christ.
Really puts a new meaning on the whole, like, God is within all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a different type of communion, but I think it's kind of hot.
Yeah, the body of Christ.
The blood of
Literally.
Christ.
Yeah, the
Yes.
Yeah.
I asked about the other people he was having sex with, and he explained that they would have group sex to honor Christ.
God likes all holes.
What?
Extra holy.
I mean, he made them.
Yeah.
What if? What?
This is like Greek. This is a
Okay,
little Greek.
I mean,
very bacchanal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, look at these Spartans wrestle with each other.
He kept apologizing and said that he had wanted to tell me, but was scared I wouldn't understand.
Well, no bud. Just like no Yeah.
just date one of the women in this.
Right.
No,
This is
no,
weird.
No. You can't date within your own cult.
Oh, because you have to recruit?
You have to recruit.
Well,
but
why
also-
didn't he then?
But also because I feel like in a cult, you can't claim ownership unless you're the leader.
Oh.
Oh, totally. You're totally right.
Then he offered to invite me to a sermon, saying I would understand once I saw it in person. I told him I needed to process everything and that I would let him know later. Honestly, I just wanted to get out of there. My heart was broken. I knew I wasn't going to stay, but I just needed to get away because I realized I had no idea who this man really was, and I was terrified. I called him later that night to formally break up with him and have not heard from him since. There was a time when I thought he was the one, and I'm so thankful I found out before things got too serious.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. And on your knees.
Amen. Amen. All right, our next story is from Selena, and it's who is the worst person you've ever dated from the venting deck.
Justin Bieber.
Okay.
Selena Gomez.
I fell down such a deep rabbit hole recently, just like going back over Jolena. I don't know. I don't support it, but there's timelines, man. That's all I got to say.
But her and Benny Blanco. Sup?
No, I don't like him anymore.
Oh, no.
I think he thinks he's the prize, and any man who thinks that is just not on my favorite person's list.
Oh, no.
Anyway, to the story.
My ex was a compulsive liar.
I had one of those.
I dated a guy for a few months, and when we met, he told me he grew up in Italy and had moved here with his wife at the time for grad school. He told me the wife had died in childbirth along with the baby, and that he dropped out of grad school because of it.
No,
Wait,
this is
okay,
too much.
this is a
This is too much.
insane lie.
This is so much. Just keep it simple. Just keep it
if
simple.
you're gonna lie, why do you have to lie about something f***ed up?
But also, you want to lie about something that can't be traced.
Yeah, because if we start dating, I'm going to be like, take me to her grave. I want to ask her
Her
permission.
grave, there's maybe an obituary listing, there's a birth
Yeah.
announcement. Like, all these things
Yeah,
can be
also, I'm
tracked.
crazy.
Depends
I'm
on what
looking
year
it
this
up.
happened.
What?
Depends on what year this
Oh,
happened.
good point,
We may
good
not
point.
have the internet.
Good point.
Okay.
He would bring up this tragedy anytime I got annoyed with him. Oh my
Oh,
god.
if I can't hate you without you having trauma,
No.
And he's like, I'm still recovering from my loss.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry I called
Okay,
you
well,
and
sound
called
like
you a...
you're not ready to be in a relationship.
Yeah, period.
Like, this trauma was an excuse for everything. If he was late, he'd say he was feeling sad about his dead wife and baby, and it took him a while to get out of the house.
I was sad. Sorry I'm late. I just felt like I couldn't drive the appropriate speed limit because it reminded me of my wife.
I was
and my
communing with
baby.
the dead. Sorry.
If he promised to do something and didn't do it, he'd bring up the dead wife and baby. Of course, it felt like something I couldn't argue with, but part of me felt like he was using this just to get away with being inconsiderate.
This is
That's
when,
crazy.
after a certain point, you go, yeah, man, you know what? I'm so sorry. Why don't we just like talk about it? Why don't you like share more about it so I can help like understand?
He's like, no,
what
she
you're
wouldn't
going
like that.
through, you know?
Therapy.
No, I get that. But you want to open it up to be like,
Yeah.
let's find out where the lies are because we're going to track them down.
Over time, I noticed he would lie about really small things, like claiming to have seen a movie he hadn't seen, or claiming he'd done something he had not. For example, he'd do things like show up an hour after he said he was going to, and tell me he had to stop at the store and got held up there. But when I asked what he got at the store, he'd say something like, oh, I got a sandwich, but I already ate it because I was hungry. And he'd do this right before we had plans to go to dinner. What?
It's just odd. Like, I don't think I could do this.
Sometimes I would catch him lying and he'd gaslight me. I remember him telling one of my friends he'd lived in Venice. And then a few weeks later, he met me and my coworkers for happy hour after work. And one of them was going to Venice on her upcoming honeymoon. I was like, oh, Marco used to live there. I bet he can suggest places you should check out. Marco insisted he'd never been to Venice and that he was from Genoa. I was like, pretty sure you said you lived in Venice. And he said I was misremembering. Okay, you can't
Hey.
Start recording.
make this
Start
up.
recording.
He's like not even from Italy. Does he have an accent? What's going on?
No.
I lost my baby mama.
Yeah.
Then my baby.
And like, woohoo! Yippee! I increasingly got an uneasy feeling about him, but it all came to a head one day when I was getting coffee and he was in line already 2 people ahead of me and on the phone with someone. I heard him say, "Mom, I am at work right now. I can call you back later." He said it in a regular American accent, though. And I'd only ever heard him speak in an Italian accent. He was also clearly not at work. He really was. I was not expecting a fake accent. I said that.
Italian,
kind of
I feel like it's kind of hard to do authentically too. Like
She probably just didn't know.
fair. I forget where American.
And also, it's like, oh, European. Oh.
Oh yes, he's
It could
been
be
here.
like, you could do an Italian accent. You do one of these, like you're doing an improv scene.
yes.
She's
A
like,
pasta.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
She's like, that's
That
so
sounds-
hot.
Pie.
She's like,
Authentic.
say something to me in Italian. He's like, tagliatelle. She's like, oh my god.
It's like, that means
Papodorre,
Prosciutto.
bruschetta,
He's like, oh my God, I'm so
Aperol
hungry.
spritz.
I didn't alert him to my presence, but watched him order his coffee with no accent and then go over to wait for his order. He also told the person at the counter his name was Carlos, but he told me his name was Marco.
Polo. Where you at, dog?
I was pissed. This man had been faking an accent since we met. He may have also lied about his name. Now, all the other minor lies I'd caught him in made sense.
Yeah.
This is just what he does.
How long did she say it's been?
I don't know.
I'm just wondering
is-
how long he
this
kept
is
it.
when you
Months.
say,
It says
Marco,
a few months.
and then you see if he responds, and like, gotcha.
you say Polo.
Or she shows up to her
Gotcha.
date and she's like, hey, Carlos.
After I saw him claim his coffee for Carlos, I marched over to him and said, "So is it Carlos or Marco?" Clearly stunned to see me, all the color drained out of his face. He tried to tell me the barista heard his name wrong and he didn't want to correct her, but I was not having it. I told him I'd heard him talking to his mother and that he could drop the fake accent. He said he had no idea what I was talking about. Oh my God.
And he's
dude.
like, scusi.
I was like, okay, I'm sick of this. I don't know what your name is or where you are from or really anything about you, but I am not playing this game anymore. We are finished.
I hope she said it out loud.
It sounds like it.
She's like, I don't know if you're Carlos, Marco, Juan, Steve. I don't give a
You're single.
He goes, I don't understand. I've been nothing but truthful with you. I don't understand that I've been nothing but truthful with you.
The episode is going to be so long because we just keep stopping to say everything with a really Italian accent. I'm sorry, Italians
I'm
that
sorry,
don't watch our
Italians.
YouTube.
It's just kind of fun.
It's so fun.
It's just a fun one. We know it's bad.
We know.
I said, fine, show me your ID. I want to see what name it says. He told me he didn't have it on him.
because he is not a citizen, so he only has a passport, guys.
I said, okay, give me your phone. I want to call back the last person you spoke to. He told me I was being crazy and that this must be an American thing.
Oh, give me a break, bro. You would know.
I was like, dude, I think you are American. I am not even convinced you were ever married or had a baby.
Dude's
I
from
think you-
Cleveland, Ohio.
I forgot about the
Yeah.
baby lie. I forgot about it.
I think you lie about everything. Can you at least drop the act and stop pretending I'm the crazy one here? He just stared at me silently as if I was the one acting nuts. So I left and, of course, immediately told all of my friends about this insanity. They all told me they never liked him and thought he seemed off from the start.
Why didn't you say anything then?
I don't know. Sometimes your friends are just like...
That's like
Yeah.
stupid. If I'm
Well,
asking
she's
for your
happy.
advice on something, if I'm like, what'd
yeah,
you
if
think?
you're asking for advice, then
Yeah.
sure.
What'd you think? Yeah.
But then I'm sure you also have friends that they have partners, and you're like, I don't really like that guy, but they seem good or she seems happy. So it's
I have
like-
friends that I know I have broken. I have said too much about the people that they date that I am no longer allowed to. And I just have to sit back
Yeah.
and say, all right, I'll wait for this to end. And so maybe she's one of those people. Our next story is from Alex, and it's who is the worst person you've ever dated from the venting deck? She used to get mad at me in public and pretend I was harassing her.
Oh, this is like a kink
Why
thing.
did you date this person?
This is like a kink thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
Let's
feel
read.
like this is like you make a situation, it gets hot and heated and heavy, and you're like arguing,
If the
and then you come
person
home and you
is
make it
in
up.
on it.
Yeah, it's only fun if you're both like, this was so hot and so fun. Oh my God.
Yeah.
If it's like, oh my
If
God, why are you
the
turned on
person-
right now?
I had a girlfriend in grad school who used to treat me like, I'll call her Kay. We would get into a lot of arguments, but she was my first real girlfriend and I was in love with her, so I let it slide.
Everyone does with their first love.
Yeah.
I let him cheat on me 3 times. I was 18.
The worst part of these arguments were that Kay would shut down and give me the silent treatment when we were alone together, but then she would let it rip in public, sometimes even screaming to strangers that she had no idea who I was and that I was stalking her.
Okay, that is insane. That's like so unsafe.
Yeah.
That is so unsafe. I feel like women who lie about things like this, like this is not bueno.
No.
This is so crazy.
This is also like, oh man, are you manic? Like, do you have some sort of
Yeah,
like mental illness or
there's-
like
this
issue right
seems
here?
mental
No, because
illness
she's
or like
genuinely putting
borderline
him in
a bit.
harm's way
Yeah.
with this lie.
This got me into a few awkward situations where strangers yelled at me to leave her alone. There were countless times this happened, but then one incident led me to finally leave her once and for all.
Okay.
We went to one of her friend's birthday brunch and were in an argument from the night before. Kay had gotten mad at me because I didn't feel like going to a movie after I had worked and gone to class all day. I suggested we order some food and stay in. Apparently, this meant I didn't love her and didn't want to be seen in public with her. I ended up agreeing to go to the movie, but she gave me the silent treatment all night.
This is giving so BPD or this is
It's
something
very-
sad.
It feels borderline.
Yeah.
This woman needs therapy.
Medication.
Yes.
I mean, after the first time, I'd be like, all right, that's strike 1 and 2. If it happens again or near
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
close
this-
to it, we're done.
So we're at brunch and the bottomless mimosas are flowing, a recipe for disaster. Kay is talking to one of her friends who had recently been dumped and makes some comment like, maybe we'll both be single soon. I should have let it slide, but I was drunk enough that I said, what is that supposed to mean? She turns to me and goes, oh my God, are you listening to my private conversations? What is wrong with you?
Just want to say, when a conversation's outside, it's not private because
Mm-hmm.
the expectation is that you are not doing so in private.
If it is audible, I am eavesdropping.
Can
yeah,
hear
yeah.
you.
But also, from a legal standpoint, if the conversation is happening outside, any kind of passerby person can hear it, which means that the expectation was not that you were like in your
not
house,
private.
in an office, or in a room having a
Yeah, yeah,
conversation
yeah.
over a phone kind of thing.
Mind you, we were sitting right next to each other, so it wasn't hard to hear everything she was saying.
She's like, the space hair, it hits a wall.
I repeated, why are you saying you might be single soon? What's that supposed to mean? She chugged her mimosa and stood up saying, I can't do this anymore. Then she said goodbye to the birthday girl and stormed out of the restaurant. I followed her, of course, bracing myself for the storm.
I would have been like, I would have then looked at the table and said, huh, who invited her?
I know, and these are her
Be
friends.
like, he would have said, awkward.
And I'd be like, all right,
Another
so-
round?
No, exactly.
He's like, fill it up.
He goes, so she won't be finishing
Let's get
this.
some $1 million bacon.
When I got outside, I saw her crying on the sidewalk. I went to comfort her, but she looked at me and screamed, get the hell away from me. Now she had everyone on the street's attention, and she loved an audience.
All right. I just turn around and be like, I'm not
Yeah.
doing this.
I'm running the other direction.
Yeah.
You're a monster. I'm getting a restraining order, you creep. I tried to ask her if we could just go back to my place and talk about it, but she kept screaming all sorts of awful things. She accused me of sleeping with her sister. She did not have a sister. And finally accused me of assaulting her in the bathroom.
Whoa.
Oh my God, this woman needs to be like
Yeah,
jailed. This is so
this is
bad.
not
Like, this
good.
is slanderous. This is libelous.
Yeah,
this is
this is-
illegal.
She grabbed a random man and said I was going to hurt her and he needed to help her now. At this point, I should have stopped, I know, but I really loved her and wanted her to be okay.
Oh my God.
This is the problem also with people who, like, I think have this type of like mental
Rational.
issue. Yeah. You can also be, I feel like it's probably one of those things where the highs is like really high.
Really good. Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I love her so much.
The highs are
Yeah,
high.
I would
and the
never leave you
lows
when you're going
are
through it.
low.
Yeah.
I was also worried about what she would do if I left, since she had threatened suicide in the past. But then this man she had grabbed turned to me, called me an asshole, and punched me in the face. He yelled at me to leave her alone or he'd make me, so I finally left. Yeah, I'm surprised.
This guy has a lawsuit.
Yeah. She called me the next day crying and apologizing, but I told her that was the last straw and that I never wanted to see her again.
Period.
I blocked her and had to keep my lights off in my apartment because she showed up a few times over the next few weeks. I wasn't scared of her, just scared that I would take her back again. I really loved her that much despite the abuse. It took me a while to call it that and even longer to want to date someone again, but I still hope she eventually got whatever help she needed and is in a better place today. Still, such a nightmare relationship. I can't believe I stuck around as long as I did.
I have nothing to
first
comment.
love. Yeah.
That's insane. That I really hope that person gets help because
Yes.
that's like not okay.
Our next story is from Anonymous, and it's who is the worst person you've ever dated from the venting deck. He threw a little tantrum when I said no to sex. Oh, classic.
All right,
Man,
breakup.
worthless.
What do you mean you won't put out?
But my blue ball.
No for me? Oh.
This is when you're like, there's a thing called porn and
Yeah.
lotion. Go to the bathroom.
You have a hand, don't you?
That's like that Chris guy being
You
like,
learned
I'm
how
gonna
to
fuck
do it.
bitches tonight. Maybe call you back. Maybe you're blacked. No. Have you seen that? The Chris guy, his ex
Yeah,
released
yeah.
a voicemail. Anyway,
The
he's
tea is spilling.
and that it will.
I met this guy on Bumble who I thought was super hot, and we went out a few times. He wasn't my usual type because he was honestly almost too perfect looking.
I
But
get that. I get that. I'm like, you boy wonder, get the out of here.
but he was also very outgoing, flirty, and confident, which I guess I found compelling.
Charming.
The red flag for me at first was that every conversation with him felt superficial. He talked about movies he liked or something that happened at work, but it all felt very surfacey. I never really felt like I was getting to know him anytime we talked. On our third date, he invited me to a playoff game at his house to meet some of his friends. I thought maybe this was his way of revealing more of himself, so I decided to go.
She's like, I have an in.
The whole night, he kind of ignored me and talked sports with his bros, so I felt like a fifth wheel. Only one guy had his girlfriend there, but she was buried in her phone the whole time. I started thinking about how I could bail on the date when he put his arm around me and said, "So glad you're here," and flashed a 1,000-watt grin at me. I was like, sorry, I'm not the biggest sports fan. He told me the game was almost over and started playing with my hair, which made me swoon. His friends left after the game, and he asked if I wanted to stay the night. At this point, I felt very on the fence about the whole thing.
Yeah.
I still felt like all this guy had to offer was looks and charm, but no substance, and he probably wasn't what I wanted. On the other hand, I was wondering if I was judging him too quickly. I told him if I stayed, it would just be a hanging out thing, and I wasn't ready to do more than talk and maybe make out a bit. He scoffed at this and said, "Okay, I am not trying to relive high school." In that moment, I knew this is over and told him I didn't think we were a good fit for each other, and he said, "Just because you're cute for a bigger girl doesn't mean you can act like you're some amazing prize."
To the chair. To the chair.
What does this even mean?
Oh my God. That's like someone being like, what, you think you could do better? Yeah, babe.
This is very Chris from Love is Blind.
If you're trying to get laid and it's like dates, like the getting laid date better be special.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
come to
After
my
a
house
playoff game.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
we've probably
dinner and
eaten
wine
a bunch of food.
But also, you're not going to
Intention.
make this person feel any better if you don't feel included. So, like, why would you? Even you're the fifth wheel, so let's assume there are actually
Yeah,
5
he's-
people total there. Why is it so hard to like? You see these guys, sports, whatever, like that. You can't initiate and like, can I be like, oh, hey, da, 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 like, but again, there's no substance, she said, so.
I left without another word. Should have trusted my gut. The kicker is, I am not even a bigger girl. I am 5'6" and 140 pounds. I am a totally normal sized woman. Men will just make things up to insult a woman when they don't get their way.
Yeah, for real. It's like it's like, you're so ugly, you didn't give me your number. Why did you want it?
Yeah.
Like, okay, sure.
You're not even a 10.
Yeah. Our next story is from Cheryl, and it's what's something you're still angry about from the original deck. Found out about his other family through TikTok.
Oh no. Did he have a TikTok fam? Did he have a TikTok fam?
Yeah,
Were they making
family
TikToks together?
Influencer? Jesus.
Oh my gosh. How did you not think it was going to show up on the For You page?
Right.
FYP.
Especially when your phones are listening to you, they're going to find the other person.
There was a trend on TikTok going around recently where you post your blue collar partner to a song that shows what a strong, manly man he is. Now, my husband is a lineman, and oftentimes I find myself scrolling the lineman TikTok tag when he's on assignment because honestly, there's line wives I like to connect with and things I can learn every day. During the height of this trend, I was gobsmacked to see that my husband of 11 years was posted to the sound by some lady named Kendall that lived in the neighboring town. Now, I had heard of Kendall, but I was told Kendall was a cousin who was vegetative. So when he would take an extra night coming back from assignments to go stay with his family overnight to help, I assumed he was assisting with caretaking.
That's fucked up.
These people are lying about the most insane.
Why do you have to include family trauma? Like, that's like, do you not feel like the burden of like tempting the universe to actually do these things?
This is crazy.
Look, I get trying to come up with a lie where you're like, this is so insane. Who would make this up? But at the same time, this is so insane. Who would make this up?
It's
No.
up.
Keep the lie simple. And that is coming from someone who can barely manage their own life, okay? Having two, and we've talked about this before, but having more than one relationship,
It's
relationship, whatever,
crazy.
it's insane.
So much work.
Not only are you financially throwing down on two things now, or more, depending on, if you have kids or whatever, but the idea where you're like, okay, I am mentally all here for you on this thing, but then I'm not really because I have to like compartmentalize something over here to be like, oh, what's happening in my other life with my wife to make
much
sure that
time.
they're happy.
Like, you have no hobbies. You have nothing. You have no time to
Yeah.
yourself. Like, what are we doing?
Also, it's like, what friend circles do you have?
Probably doesn't have any
they're
friends.
gonna
Yeah,
cross
these
over.
people are weird.
Especially if you're a town over, please.
He doesn't sound like he has time, honestly. Like, it sounds like he's booked up.
not caretaking the 3 children he had popped out with another woman while our 3 kids were at home. Sir,
Is
it's
anyone-
too many children.
Is anyone wondering where the finances are going?
Yeah.
You can't work 2 jobs at like, oh yeah, here's my salary of let's say 60 to 80K a year. Where is that going? You got to file your taxes with one of them. You can't file both people. This is crazy.
This one's really affecting
Oh my
me.
God. This one upsets me the most.
He's more jealous, I think, at the fact that this man can juggle, because I think this is just sounding
like,
so
it would
like,
be so
how
hard.
does he have the money?
No, it's not even that they
How
can
does he have
juggle
the
it.
money?
It's that like, what's going on with the other partner and
During that
kids
time.
for them to be like, where's dad?
I messaged this woman. We shared our stories. Turns out I was his cousin Cheryl, who was vegetative in need of caretaking assistance. This man had bamboozled both of us for 5 years at this point. 5 years.
Neither
6
of-
children? What are we doing?
Oh my God. Not, dude.
Well, he's been with his other wife for 11, so that might be
right.
different.
But also, neither of these women are like, hey, can I come with you or like meet your family? Or
Well, they're
like-
busy with kids.
I know,
That's
but still,
the thing.
like,
If he's probably like I mean, I don't know anything. This is a bad guy.
I mean,
feel like
a
this,
lot
ba-
of
this is a bad guy and obviously a very good
he's
liar.
A
Yeah,
bad
yeah.
guy is a good liar, but there are sometimes situations like this. I'm like, maybe I'm just like demanding and needy, but
Yeah.
like I would be like, what? Can I meet
Yeah.
your sister? Can I meet your family?
I feel like you also
Can
have to
I-
select a very specific type of person, though, in order for them to be okay
100%.
getting pieces of your life instead
Yeah.
of a whole pie.
And what's worse is that his family knew. All right, well, We had both met Mima and Papa, and neither of those slimy bastards had ever said a word. What the
Do they not have photos
That's
around
our
their
grandson, Chris. He's real innocent.
It's like, I get, the grandparents like, hey, we got 6 grandchildren. But when you go over to the grandma and grandpa's house, are there not photos of the families?
Probably
Are they in
not.
on it? Where they're
No,
like,
because
photo down, down,
they're
down?
obviously in on it.
No, I know. So do they have like, they're like, all right, photo up, down, 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 up.
Or they
like,
just don't have
swapping
This is
them
a
out.
game
Yeah.
of guess who,
This
right?
whole family's crazy. You best believe when his next assignment came that I kissed him goodbye, let him leave, and then drove me and my kids over to my new friend Kendall's, where we waited for him to get back from the job and revealed to him that we had uncovered his rat bastard ways.
Also, it's like, here are your half brothers and sisters.
Yeah, now we all get to be friends. Kicked him out, got full custody on account of his adultering and philandering behavior. Now Kendall and I live together and raise all our kids as a unit. Brady Bunch. You, Darren, you slimy marmot. Love
At
a
least
Brady
there's
Bunch
like a
ending.
good ending to that where they like join
That's
forces,
fun.
you know?
Our next story is from Regina, and it's who is the worst person you've ever dated from the venting deck. Found out he had a girlfriend, but what they did next totally shocked me. I started dating this guy, Jay, a couple months ago. We met on a dating app and everything seemed great. The only red flag I see in hindsight is that I never went to his place and he never stayed the night at mine. But I figured he just wanted to take things slow. Then one night we were hanging out and he was in the bathroom to take a shower, something he always did after we had sex. I noticed on his phone he was getting a call from Sweetie with a heart next to the name. I stared in shock. The call went to voicemail. Then they called a second time. I picked up the phone. The woman on the other end asked who I was, and I told her my name and said I was Jay's girlfriend. No, I'm his girlfriend. What the are you talking about? Put Jay on the phone right now. I panicked and hung up the phone, confronting Jay when he came out of the shower. He yelled at me for going through his phone and stormed out of my apartment. I texted him saying we were done and that I was going to tell his girlfriend everything.
If you can't go through your partner's phone, what are you doing? You know?
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, you
we know
shouldn't
each other
have
best.
to, but
Yeah, I
also
know.
like this,
Right, but like to freak
She
out,
called.
someone's like, "Oh, let me go through your phone." Okay, here you go.
yeah, have fun.
Read the dumb Instagram like group threads that I'm in.
After some heavy stalking, I found her on Instagram later that night and sent her a message detailing the past 3 months with him. She responded and told me she needed to process it all, but thanked me for telling her.
Oh no, I have a feeling like they're gonna team up and come after her.
I didn't hear from either of them for 2 weeks and assumed they broke up. Then she messaged me and asked if she could talk to me on the phone. She said she needed to get closure and that talking to me would help. I agreed to the phone call, assuming they were done, and she believed me. Turns out that was not the case. I answered the phone and she asked for my side of the story, which I had already told her but was happy to repeat. But then she responded with, "Stop lying, you crazy b-." Jay told me everything. You drugged him at the bar and stole his phone. You're a sociopath. What you did was illegal and we are going to press charges.
What an idiot to believe this.
This is why you take photos, video, exchange text messages, maybe
Yeah,
an email or two.
screenshot everything.
Yeah, what do you mean? You had a whole relationship with it. Like,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah,
not that hard to, like...
But it's the question of, did
This
they
is-
ever do this stuff?
I started freaking out and was like, I am not lying. I can screenshot our conversations and send them to you.
No.
As if I would believe anything you send to me, you psycho. You can fake that with AI, she yelled
Fitness.
back.
Yeah.
Now I was fully just like, WTF. So I said, okay, I'm done here. He lied to me. He lied to you. But if you want to believe him over me, then good luck with your life. And hung up.
Yeah, period.
Good.
But that wasn't the end of it.
Oh.
She ended up harassing me for weeks. She found my family on social media and told them they needed to check me into a mental hospital. She contacted my boss and made up all sorts of lies about how I was a criminal.
Pretty sure this is cyberbullying.
Yeah. Luckily, I have a good relationship with him, so I didn't get fired. She contacted my friends. This woman spent weeks terrorizing everyone she could find in my life, and I ended up having to go totally private on all social media. Eventually, she stopped, but the whole situation made me feel crazy.
No, you got a restraining order.
Yeah.
Even after the first few days, a week, they might be like, oh, you have to wait and see if anything happens. You get a restraining order. Get that on the record.
Without my therapist and friends reminding me that I had done nothing wrong, I'm not sure how I would have survived it. I guess they deserve each other, and I hope they both have a miserable life together.
Yeah, they deserve it. She sounds like his exact type of brand.
Our last story is from Lena, and it's what went wrong for you most recently from the venting deck. I tried to warn the other woman, but he got to her first.
Oh, so just like the last
Another
one.
I dated this monster who revealed himself to be an evil psychopath when I found out that he was cheating on me with another girl for the last 3 years of our relationship. Oh my God. This is so long. I immediately left him, moved out, and thought I could choose peace until I saw them still together. Then I decided to choose violence. So I found her place of work and I went on a day that I was sure she was working. I waited until she was on her lunch break in her car. Then I approached.
How sad. Sorry.
In her car, loser.
Well, I'm just coming after the party that's inflicting the pain,
Then I approached and tried to show her photos on my phone showing that he had been cheating with her and she could escape. To my surprise and horror, she called the police on me.
Okay, I mean, understandably so.
You
If you're
did.
showing
I
up to
mean, you
someone's
did kinda stalk her
car
a little
while they're
bit.
like in the car eating or whatever, even if they're just listening to music or on a phone call, and you come up to them like, look at it, we're together. I'd be like,
you're
cops?
There's a crazy person. They cuffed me and charged me for stalking and harassment.
What?
My evil ex-boyfriend had convinced her I was an evil ex-girlfriend that was obsessed with him, following him everywhere and stalking her. She was too far gone by the time I got to her, so I left my phone number on her porch so she can call me when she inevitably has questions.
Oh no, girl. That just does not help your case.
No.
It did not
You've
help.
already been arrested.
She's like, I'm sure it's just a misunderstanding. Like,
But,
here you go.
It's on
Let
record
these people
somewhere.
be together. If she doesn't want to believe, let
Also,
them be together.
don't do it from yourself. You do it anonymously.
Yeah, you got to do what I did one time, which is make a fake military account and tell the girl that I know her boyfriend is cheating on her. And then now we're friends.
Yeah, I mean, she's also like probably going through stages of grief, and you're like, I'm doing this thing, and that is it for Delve Deck Stories. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, you can like, subscribe, and check out some of our other videos. And if you have a story that you would like to share with us, you can go to share.delvedeck.com, and we might read it on an episode. Bye.
See ya.